Beautiful friends, grand rising unto you. You know what, friends? My hands are free, and I am so thankful for that because I can move around a little better this morning. Come on in the room, friends. As you come into the room, greet one another, welcome one another. Most of all, most of all, be kind to one another. Y'all know that this is live now when your friend come here and things when I come to actually chat with my friends. I am so thankful today that I have some time to communicate and to talk with my friends. Hey, today conversation is going to be about money and marriage. It should be a conversation. These are just my thoughts. Remember now, I'm going to do a disclaimer for those individuals that may have a huge, what you call different, and just my thoughts and things. Remember, all of the information that I am talking about, in my live chat is possibly because, someone is in the chat giving their opinion, but most of all from life experience and from the things that I either experienced or seen so many individuals go through. Because in life know how to present itself to you. I want to move it right along, and I just want to acknowledge my friend that is in the chat saying good morning. Go get some more friends. Go on and text them and let them know that Gigi is live and things. Yeah, so let's move right along in the conversation. First of all, I just want to say, I'm always ready to give God the thanksgiving and praise, thanking God for leading and guiding and giving wisdom and knowledge and definitely information that is needed in this life journey. And I'm so grateful to have life experience and to share and to pour back into individuals who may necessarily, may sit and may listen. Not that you have to do it the way that I'm stating. Always get someone that will guide you, such as a counselor if you're in a marriage that need counseling, or whoever that you may choose to put in your life. But make sure that you take it to the Lord in prayer. If you don't take it to God, you just make sure that you choose wisely. The reason why money and marriage should be discussed and everything, because when you begin to go through anything in life. It don't even have to be a divorce. Money always come up on the table and it's always talked about. So you have to understand that a conversation about money and marriage, individuals should know, their household enough to know what works for them and what do not work. If you're single, these are some of the things in going into a marriage. You need to understand, what is your position and how do you feel about money and marriage? What is it that you want to put into, the marriage and things. And the reason why I say that everybody is different, everybody is unique in their own way. So you have to understand your value and your worth going into a marriage. But I would say this much, friend, especially if you are a woman. I'm talking just from my own experience. Always, you make sure, even if you don't have to work, friend, you always make sure. Thank you, friend, for subbing. I appreciate you. You always make sure, friend, as a woman, even if you don't have to work, when you are getting into a relationship, you still make sure that you are able, to have you some type of skill, education, if you choose to go the education route. But money can comes with skills meaning that you got skills or you got a certificate to move around and to do things and to get the things you want. And the reason why it's important, friends, because all relationships, good or bad, need to have a conversation about money. If your relationship is perfectly fine and you don't, think that you're having any issues right now, then that's great. But for the individuals that know that things have came up and money has been a topic and things, you need to sit down and talk about it with your mate if you are now in a direction that you want to go in and things. Also, make sure that it's comfortable enough with you to whereby you can be vulnerable to express your feelings and to express yourself to your mate and giving them an understanding, the reason why you may feel a certain way. The reason why I choose to have my own money, friends, is because money gives me the ability to move around. And when I say to move around, mentally, spiritually, okay, and to do the things that I need to do. I don't look at it as if, money is something that, I want to be, the head in my household. No, I look at it as if, money is the tool that get me the things that I necessarily need, and not necessarily putting a burden and oppression on my significant, other, which is my husband and everything. I truly believe that when you have a conversation and when, money is flowing and things, you need to have that relationship concerning money. What do money does in relationships when you don't have the conversations and when you don't even understand your position in the relationship and how money is flowing? It makes you feel in a position to whereby you're incapable now, to make the decisions of what you can do and how you can do it. Some individuals are hand-fed money, or some women are not even given allowance for the ones that are not working. So they may feel as if, they have no power, and they actually have to, wait and ask, raise their hand, for, money, especially for the personal needs and stuff. Now, for me personally, I think that a woman need allowance to get her personal needs, to even treat herself out, to do the things that she loved doing, to her self-care and everything, especially if you know that it's just one individual working in the household, if money can be provided and things, if it can be provided. Everybody cannot provide extra, but making sure that, your particular, wife have all the things that she need in order to feel good, because it's something, we play roles, in our relationship when we are married and everything, and those roles sometimes can be, challenging at times, especially if you have young children and things in your life. It can be very challenging. Sometimes you may feel exhausted, and sometimes you can feel all alone as if you're the only one doing it. Now, if you are a woman that work and you are what you call independent to make or to get your money, then things are a little different, because you have the freedom to do what you need to do. And also as well, you have the freedom now to be what you call even more aware, how to save your money, putting them in different, locations that can benefit the both of you all. Now, I'm gonna veer in this conversation and to say this much. What happens when a woman don't have her money mindset game together, and when things do go a different way? Well, you may feel as if now you got to recreate a new identity of your finances and to figure out a way to make money and things. And there's nothing wrong with that, because skills are good to have. I'm always encouraging young ladies, always have a skill, always have something that you can fall back on, because the reason why you want to have that particular skill, because you want to make sure that you can provide for yourself. You don't have to have the millions of dollars or anything like that. Something that you're comfortable with, something that you can live on with. Remember, you're not competing with anyone. You're just finding your space in life to whereby you can live and to whereby you can grow in things in this particular life journey. Once you understand that money and marriage is a conversation, and even in the relationship of marriage, if it become difficult, if it become to the point to whereby the money is being argued over and things, you have to come to a medium point and a ground to understand that it is not healthy for the relationship, because money is always being circulated in this earthly realm. So meaning that if you're praying and if you're blessing over your finances and things, and if you know that, money is constantly something that you can get with no issue and at ease. And I say it like that because money is something that, yes, we all need. We all have to, live upon it, because we live in this world, the laws and the principles that apply. So, of course, you want to just make sure you have the conversation in your relationship and knowing who does what. Now, let me tell you my thoughts on this. And I said it before in my last video and things. Y'all thumbs up the video and subscribe to the channel. And I thank you for the individuals that have subscribed. Now, for me, friends, I must say, I definitely, definitely, I am so thankful. And the reason why I am thankful and everything, because there was a time in my own personal life that were about the Spirit itself proved to me the reason why I had needed to have my own personal income. Because I don't like to feel as if I have to depend on, okay, anyone, not just my husband, but anyone when it comes to money. And the reason why I don't like to feel that way, because I already understand how it feels when someone mistreats you or when someone feel like they got to hand feed you in order to be great in this life. When you realize that you are more than enough, and you are capable now to pursue your dreams and your vision. No one will ever be able to take that power from you. Maybe if you're in a position and say that something just happened and it just snatched your power away from you, that you don't even feel capable enough, use that energy to get back up, to rise your vibration back up, and to put yourself in a winning position, and to know that, listen, you are more than enough. God is going to work things out for you, and you're going to level back up to even in a greater position where you need to be at. There are so many multiple things that you can do in this particular life to generate money and things. And when I say multiple things, you have to find out what fits your particular life. You have to find out what makes you happy and everything in order to generate that particular source of income. Remember, never compare your life to somebody else's life. They could be lying along the way. And when I say lying, pretending in relationships, y'all know that go on. Never believe that people don't, have their differences behind closed doors and everything, and we're about conversations and communications, possibly may need to be had, but it's not being had. Never just look in someone else's household and say, I want what they got, because you're setting yourself up for a failure. And when you set yourself up for a failure, then you're taking your power away from you, and then you don't even understand your worth. Look within yourself. See all of, the riches, okay? And when I say the riches, that gold mindset that God have left you, those ideals that God have given you. I'm sharing this because I even want some of the ladies that done tapped into their senior years like myself. Now, I do real estate because I like what I do at this point in time in my life. I can be my own CEO, meaning my own boss, because we're actually 1099, meaning I don't have to go in and punch into no one clock. And the reason why I chose real estate in my latter years, because it worked for me. I have already gained, okay, that particular, residual income in other areas, what some individuals are still working on, and which is great. I would encourage the young mindsets. Whatever you're doing, stick with it, or change it up if you need to, okay, to make life, okay, be better in your latter years. Because when those years come, if you're expecting to continue to live in this earthly realm, you're going to be able to look back and say, wow, I put in time, okay, in this part of my life so that I can live this particular part in your latter years. Because if you're looking and if you're desiring to live when you get in your latter years and everything, you have an opportunity to do that if you are on somebody's job. I think jobs come with a responsibility and accountability, but it works for individuals when you know the plan and when you know what you're trying to do. But let's just say this, you're in your latter years and things, excuse me, and you are basically just reinventing yourself. And say that you missed that part in your life that we're about, you just missed that part for whatever reason. You was depending on, your husband if you was married at that time, or you were single and you just had some challenges in your life that challenge you. I mean, when I say challenge you, they challenge you. But now that you're still living, you still have an opportunity to be creative enough, okay, to be in that winning mindset to make things happen. Just let it fit for you. But once again, The reason why, now I want to encourage, okay, my particular friends that is in their latter years, such as myself, it is always good to keep yourself active and to know how to have even, okay, additional residual income coming in for you. And the reason why I'm speaking from this point of view and everything, because life is always what you call recirculating and giving all of us an opportunity to do the things that we desire. You don't stop living because you retire from one, amazing career, and then now, you're still living. You got to put things in life. Well, you really don't have to, but it's good to put things in life to keep you moving, to keep your brain okay with that good oil running in it, and to just for you to identify that your life is not over right now and you're doing things. It don't necessarily have to be, you actually working if you don't want to work, but giving your time and giving, your particular self those opportunities to help or to serve in areas that you will particularly love. Now, for the individuals, and I'm saying now, talking to my women and everything, I want you to understand, you are the greatest individual that you are right now in your life. If been contemplating and been thinking about, you haven't achieved this, you haven't achieved that, let me just say this while I'm sitting down. God always have a way to identify with who you are. Never look at yourself and think that you actually, are not good enough for this life and in your journey. You are more than enough. There are so many different women that is actually re-identifying their life right now. Some may talk about it and some may not. There are a lot of individuals that is re-identifying what they want to do in life right now. That's why you're in the best position, okay, to figure it out, write it down, pray about it, rewrite it down, pray about it. But remember, God have given you the tools to do everything that you need to do in this particular life journey. I'm going back through my particular messages. Once again, friends, I thank everyone that will subscribe. I appreciate that. I really, really do. I appreciate that. My friend is saying we must remember communication is a two-way street and not a one-way road. Communication consists of speaking, but more important, listen. Absolutely. I was reading from the bottom up. And also telling the friends to subscribe because of the algorithm. Absolutely. Absolutely subscribe to Gigi channel and things. And let me tell my friends too, with having my own money, my husband took care of me until he passed away. Amen. And that's what I'm saying and everything. We're living in a time, and I want to respond to this. My friend is saying, well, having my own money, my husband took care of me until he passed away. We're living in a time to whereby I must be completely honest. They're not making, and this doesn't apply to all men, but they're not making men like that anymore to whereby they will be that provider. I said that in my last video, that some men are seeking out women, okay, for their income, for their money, either to help them with their child support or to help them level up and to have a lifestyle that they desire. And that's just, no shade. These are my thoughts, and it is the truth. Because when a man is willing to work, he's going to put himself in that position to not want to depend on a woman and to not even want a woman to basically to front his lifestyle, okay? In other words, how can I best explain this without, making anyone feel either way, however I explain it, individual always feel a certain way. When me, myself as a woman, if I am feeling in a position to whereby I need to get myself financially geared up, I'm going to do it without necessarily depending on another individual to do that for me. Because I understand that once I get myself together, it's not that I won't acknowledge the person that I'm with that is doing for me. I always acknowledge that. But when you get yourself together on the physical level and you did it on your own, it makes a difference. So therefore your strength becomes strengthened. You don't feel like that you're bound. You don't feel like that I have to stay in something that is not working. But if if you so happen to recognize, like this friend said, she had an individual to take care of her until her mate passed. That is a lifestyle that many won't even experience, possibly, in this life, because it's not being produced like that anymore at all. Everybody got their own mindset and how they do things, and that's their particular life. But I can only speak from my particular journey and my life and how I am navigating in this life. If anything, like you said, were to happen, and this has always been my prayer, but I don't pray about it anymore. I always said, Lord, before I even was married, allow me to have, and I was very specific, an income that was more than abundance. But I said it in my own words. But to worry about whether or not I'm married or whether or not I'm not married. And at the time I had children. Let me be able to be an individual that can survive. And God granted me that. So I'm thankful to experience this. And God did it for a reason. Because now I can share it and I can speak it and tell individuals there is power, okay, when you have conversations, not just with in your marriage, but also conversations, okay, with yourself and including your mate concerning marriage. It could be tough, conversations, but it's worth it. Someone said, Gigi, I can see and hear you clearly, no lie. Nice job, Miss Gigi. Have a blessed day. Thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, friends, I am going to get moving from off of this particular video. Life for me have became easy now with these particular braids in my hair. I'm able to get up. Hopefully they will continue to loosen up to whereby I can move them around and things. Possibly I may do them for the whole summertime. Who knows? I don't particularly know. And I also want to tell my friends too, this should be a whole video, but I'm going to just give you a sneak preview of what I want to say about this. By me doing real estate, the reason why I'm not this particular realtor that is going to come on here, especially in my latter years, I think it'll be real creative for me to talk about being an agent in, your senior years, how it go and how you feel and how sometimes, you can get that jet lag in your mindset when it comes to learning new things, at least for me. And, you realize that you have to stay on top of things. I think that would be a good subject, to share with my friends, how I navigate, how I move. Of course, I'm going to just be 100% a TC, that is called a transaction coordinator. I don't mind paying a person for, being a transaction coordinator because it works for me, because I'm not going to try to be the individual that is trying to understand everything about computers, but I will understand everything about my numbers. And TC's transaction coordinators are individuals that actually deals, with your contracts and with the information that you need help with in order to get paid and everything. It is different for me being in my latter years, being, an individual in real estate, because I didn't come in at 20 years ago. Let me just say that much. So things have even changed for the agents that 20 years ago, they were doing things just all paper filling out. Now, things are being filled out, on, the computer or the tablet. So things are different. DocuSign, you don't even have to sign on what they call the wet doc. You're going to have a wet doc, which is the paper, but everything is being done on the computer to where about, you're sending and you're receiving and things. So, that could be, another conversation, but I'm expressing it to my friends. So I, what you call, have to value the knowledge that come to me. That's why I soak up a lot of information when it comes to learning and when it comes to understanding the things that I need to do as being an agent. And it normally just comes with your personality, your professional skills. If you got professional skills in this real estate, career that you're making, if you are a senior tapping into it and things, you would see that, that part will flow easy for you because you know how to conduct yourself, you know how to show up, and how to speak and how to talk. You know how to be engaging to a client as well when they need that extra help, making sure that you have individuals that can help that particular client and knowing what to say. And I'm holding my hands like this, knowing what to say and what not to say. So that part works in my favor. And I just be organic and who I am. I don't buy leads. What are leads? Leads are things that you can buy. And those leads, that you buy and things, you have to work them. You have to call them back to see whether or not they are a good client and a good prospect. All of my leads have became organic. What do I mean by organic? By just every day me being Gigi. This year I stepped up, my level of, being excited and communicating more, to individuals that I least expected that possibly that I could engage with. So I became what you call more active in that area, and it works for me. Somebody else may just need what you call to buy leads because they may be an introvert, and an introvert that whereby I'm not going out here doing all of that. Like I say, friends, I don't door knock and everything. Door knocking is when you go to the houses, you introduce yourself, and you tell them that you're an agent. It's just organically when I'm out in spaces and places, I make sure, I'm listening. We're having the conversations because conversation always like to come up about, individuals' jobs and what they do. So then I'm able to engage and I'm able to share where I'm at in life or what I have done in life, when it comes to a career. And then conversations get to, move. I'm looking at making sure on my behalf to engage. But I'm not an agent, and it's nothing against agents that is on, either Facebook or what you call that, Instagram. You can tell I'm old school, that market and advertise. I think that is an amazing way. But my way and my position, my marketing and my advertising is just by communicating. Now, I'm here right now for individuals that may be an agent and no may agent friends. If I start talking about my real estate stories a little bit more, I'm just being organic about it because I have some fun things. I have some messy things, okay, when it comes to real estate. I have some things that, it's just unbelievable. And in real estate, it's all about, for me, humility, meaning the humility part of being, thankful and honored to be in this career, but also honesty. But that honesty, if you're looking for it in this career path, you will find out that in the game of real estate, you got to move and play checkers and chess a little different because it will break you all the way down and it will ask you who you are. But you have to stand in your own honesty. You have to have a clear communication line with, other agents and everything. And even if other agents are doing something that is something that you want do, you still have to hold your integrity in line. And everybody's integrity is different, completely different. My integrity is just transparent. I'm an individual to where about in real estate, I'm going to say what I mean, and I'm going to mean what I say, not to hurt anyone, but I'm asking questions. But never look for promises in this particular career path to want someone to give you leads and everything. It's not a job to where about you go in and you clock in and where about somebody is actually giving you a lead. If someone is giving you a lead, oh, you need to be thankful. And when I say thankful, if someone is turning you on to get leads, you need to be more than thankful. Listen, since I've been doing real estate and everything, like I stated, my leads have become just organic, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to know that I still got that push. Some people call it the grind. I just call it just walking in God's favor. I'm thankful that I'm still motivated to get up, to be inspired, to know that it's somebody that may need me today for their concerns concerning real estate. Every deal is not a sale, and it don't have to be a sale and everything. Sometimes individuals just want information, and I'm okay with that. But the opportunity, and I want to say this, for me to grow and to enhance, okay, this area in my life, it is absolutely for me. I say it like that. This some fun stuff. And when I say fun stuff, because you literally get to go dine and eat and sit and conduct meetings. You can have them in your office if you want to. It all depends on that particular client. But it just give you an opportunity to really to be your own boss. It really does. And don't compare yourself to anyone and what they're doing, because half of the times, when you come into it, especially if you're looking at somebody else's money, don't do it. Build it slow and build it steady. Concentrate on what's in front of you. Concentrate on the people, okay, that God is allowing to come into your path. And you work it to the best of your ability with all your kindness. My friends already know me, or they're getting to know as an agent. And I tell them, honey, I'm in my latter years doing this. This is something completely, good for me as well. But I'm still learning along the way. I will not be that agent that I know everything. That's why they still have classes. That's why NAR, that's just a organization, an association for us to continue to learn. Or you can, get your, classes however, you choose to get them. But the organization, I feel like it gives you the tools that you need and things. It really does. I mean, you pay for it. And then you got the MLS that allow you to go and to look at homes, on that particular, internet website, what they got going, because every day it can be new listings. It's called the hot sheet that you can look at and to see what's going on around you in your town. So you become what you call that talk piece to help individuals, but you market yourself completely that match your particular attitude. And when I say your attitude, why would Gigi change her attitude in real estate to be something that I'm not? I have to be the individual that I am. So for me to market, and I'm going to get up, and to chase leads per social media, and to say that I'm doing it this way, it still need to be organic. And if I get leads from social media, because I only do this YouTube space, but if I get leads from this space, I will actually share it with you, and everything. But I need to be organic enough just to be me. In other words, I don't want to make it difficult or hard, I really don't. With that being said, friends, I am going to get off the video. Enjoy your day. I appreciate you. Continue to be amazing. Continue to support your friend. It's June, the 19th today. Individuals are celebrating it and things. I definitely have a couple of things, and I keep doing the hair like that because it is what it is. But I have a couple of things that I need to do concerning real estate. Real estate will always keep going on. Always something new, always something good to learn from. I'm putting myself up under individuals that have been in real estate. They have made what you call the money financially and things, and that is doing what they need to do to enhance others. So I do position myself up under those individuals, okay, that have made that substantial enough money, as they say, millions, okay, with their own receipts attached to them and everything. But they are mentors, they are leaders, and they have taught individuals how to navigate. You don't have to come in this thing talking about making millions. Just let me just say this much. You can just come just to say, listen, I'm showing up because I want to help people. But if you know you showing up because you want to be that one to hit that million, then guess what? You got work to do. And you got to stay in that work mindset and everything. It can definitely happen. Let me say that much. It can happen easily and so quickly. But the main thing for me is being around individuals that will share, that will keep my mindset encouraged, and that understand. Listen, Gigi, we get you. The whereabout, listen, long as you got that mindset to learn and to grow, because I grasp information when it comes to the knowledge part of real estate easy for me. When it comes to understanding, the things that I need to understand. But in the area of TC and all of that and inputting and stuff like that. Now, if you want me to be fast on that, I'm going to just be honest with I literally have somebody in my life that does that transaction coordinating for me. And a lot of agents have individuals in their life that help them along the way in that area. You're doing all the work, meaning I am. I do all my lead generation. I do all my phone calls and all of that. I return them back. Unless the TC, the transaction coordinator, when they get the title, they begin to communicate to title, and I give them the permission to communicate and things, and I'm still getting all of the information. But other than that, you're doing all of your work, and that's what make it good for you. So yeah, I want to have more conversations, being an agent in my latter years, and talking about, the fun things, and what I have discovered, and just making it work. All right, friends. Now, y'all know I can get to talking and everything. I really can. But blessings and power to everyone. Have a great and an amazing day, okay? All right, friends. Love you all. Remember, subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you. Thank you.